Today's Bible story is Jesus and the road to Emmaus. What's that, Francis John? Your paws hurt? Oh dear, why is that? You got a blister on them because you had to go on a long walk. Did you go anywhere nice? Your usual honey shop was closed. You met with some friends and you walked to a new one. You were so busy walking that you didn't realise how far it was until you got there. Was it worth it though? Yes, because you were able to taste some really nice honey and then you got the bus home. Well, today's story is all about how two of Jesus's friends thought that Jesus was dead until they met him as they were walking home. Are you ready for today's story? Jesus and the road to Emmaus. On that first Easter Sunday, two of Jesus's friends were going to a village named Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking to each other about all the things that had happened. As they talked, Jesus himself drew near and walked along with them. They saw him, but somehow did not recognize him. Jesus said to them, "What are you talking about to each other as you walk along?" They stood still with sad faces. One of them, named Cleopas, asked him, "Are you the only visitor in Jerusalem who doesn't know the things that have been happening there the last few days?" "What things?" Jesus asked. "The things that happened to Jesus of Nazareth," they answered. "This man was a prophet and was considered by God and by all the people to be powerful in everything he said and did. Our chief priests and rulers handed him over to be sentenced to death, and he was crucified. And we had hoped that he would be the one who was going to set Israel free. Besides all that, this is now the 3rd day since it happened. Some of the women of our group surprised us. They went at dawn to the tomb, but they could not find his body. They came back saying they'd seen some angels who told them that Jesus is alive. Some of our group went to the tomb and found it exactly as the women had said, but they did not see Jesus." Then Jesus said to them, "How foolish you are, and how slow you are to believe everything the prophets said. Was it not necessary for the Messiah to suffer these things?" And Jesus explained to them what was said about himself in all the scriptures, beginning with the books of Moses and the writings of all the prophets. As they came near to the village of Emmaus, to which they were going, Jesus acted as if he was going farther. But they said to him, "Stay with us, the day is almost over and it is getting dark." So Jesus went in to stay with them. Jesus sat down to eat with them, took the bread and said a blessing. Then he broke the bread and gave it to them. Then they realized that it was Jesus. But Jesus disappeared from their sight. They said to each other, "Wasn't it like fire burning in us when he talked to us on the road and explained the scriptures to us?" They got up at once and went back to Jerusalem, where they found the 11 disciples gathered together. The two then explained to them what had happened on the road and how they'd recognized Jesus when he broke the bread. We heard in our story how Jesus met Cleopas and his friend as they were walking to Emmaus, but they did not recognize that it was Jesus. Cleopas and his friend thought that Jesus was dead. But Jesus explained to them that having to suffer and die was all part of God's plan, and that God had given that message to different prophets over hundreds of years, and they'd written these messages in the Old Testament part of the Bible. Then, as they were eating, Jesus broke the bread just as he'd done at the Last Supper, and they realized it was Jesus, and he was now alive. I wonder, have you ever been really sad about something and then found out that everything is now okay? You may like to close your eyes and think about that now. I'm going to say a prayer, and if you'd like to make it your prayer too, please say amen at the end after me. Dear God, thank you that Jesus is alive and wanted to help his friends understand what had happened to him. Please help me to learn more about what it means that Jesus died and came back to life for me. Amen. What's that, Francis John? You've decided that you need to share the good news of the new honey shop with lots of friends. So you're going to form a club so that you can pass on news about honey. Oh, can anyone join? You're not sure yet. It may just be for bears, but you'll think about it. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for joining us today for our story, Jesus and the Road to Emmaus. We look forward to you joining us again soon. Goodbye and God bless.